bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen. If you are not ready, did not know what to do, it could hurt you in different ways. It could knock you down hard, or throw you against a tree or a wall.
And even the greatest natural disaster we could imagine would be dwarfed by the loss of lives and property in a nuclear attack. I'm saying this because I have good reason to be concerned. My name is John Davis, and I am the National Director of Civil Defense in Washington, D.C. Our purpose in civil defense is to protect you and to help you protect yourself in time of emergency.
In the decade following World War II, the United States formulated a civil defense initiative to preserve order during a nuclear attack. This initiative aimed to protect citizens and maintain societal functions in the face of unprecedented threats. As the Cold War tensions escalated, communities across the nation, including New Orleans, took significant measures to prepare for potential disasters. This documentary delves into the civil defense system in New Orleans, exploring its origins, developments, and eventual decline. The Cold War era, spanning from the late 1940s to the early 1990s, was characterized by a pervasive atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, as the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in a protracted geopolitical struggle. This period saw the proliferation of nuclear weapons and the development of strategies to mitigate the impact of a potential nuclear conflict. For New Orleans, a city with significant strategic and economic importance, the implications of the Cold War were profound. New Orleans' location at the mouth of the Mississippi River and its role as a major port city made it a vital hub for American commerce and military logistics. The city's shipping industry was crucial not only for the national economy, but also for military supply lines during the Cold War. During the Cold War, this made New Orleans a potential target for Soviet attacks, given the city's capacity to support military operations and its economic significance. Additionally, New Orleans' proximity to Cuba heightened its strategic importance during the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. The discovery of Soviet ballistic missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida, brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. The crisis underscored the necessity for robust civil defense measures in New Orleans, as the city was within striking distance of these missiles. This proximity intensified local efforts to prepare for the worst-case scenario of a nuclear strike. In response to these heightened threats, the Louisiana legislature acted swiftly. In 1950, it created the Civil Defense Agency, empowering local communities to establish their own civil defense organizations in line with state plans. The aim was to create a coordinated and comprehensive approach to civil defense that could protect citizens and maintain order in the event of a nuclear attack or other major disaster.
Very quietly, but steadily over the years, we've been building a nationwide system of civil defense designed to save lives, to protect as many of our people as possible. It consists of many things. The National Warning System, tied in with NORAD, the North American Air Defense Command, able to alert the whole nation in a matter of minutes.
By 1952, the Office of Civil Defense in New Orleans had been established with a clear mandate to prepare for, coordinate, and implement all necessary emergency measures to minimize and repair injury and damage from disasters caused by enemy attacks, as well as natural disasters like fire and floods. This office became the central hub for civil defense planning and operations in the city. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, the Civil Defense Agency in New Orleans undertook a range of initiatives to ensure the city's preparedness for a nuclear attack. One of the primary strategies was the designation and preparation of fallout shelters. These shelters were intended to provide protection from radioactive fallout in the event of a nuclear explosion. Public education was another crucial aspect of the civil defense strategy. The agency conducted regular drills and disseminated information on what to do in the events of a nuclear attack. Citizens were instructed on how to duck and cover, a phrase that became synonymous with the era's civil defense efforts. Schools, workplaces, and community centers participated in these drills, ensuring that everyone knew the steps to take to increase their chances of survival during an attack. The city also installed an extensive warning system, comprising 76 large sirens strategically placed throughout New Orleans. These sirens were designed to alert the public to the imminent threat of a nuclear attack, giving them precious minutes to seek shelter. The warning system was tested regularly to ensure its reliability, and its wailing sirens became a familiar, albeit unsettling, sound for the residents of New Orleans.
And thousands of special emergency control centers to direct life-saving and recovery operations.
One of the most significant and ambitious projects undertaken by the Civil Defense Agency was the construction of a fully equipped command center, or bunker. This subterranean facility, built as a prototype for similar shelters nationwide, was designed to serve as the headquarters for city officials during a nuclear attack. The bunker was strategically located between West End and Pontchartrain boulevards, chosen for its quick interstate access to City Hall, which would enable rapid coordination of rescue and recovery efforts. The bunker was intended to be a secure location from which city officials could direct operations, communicate with state and federal authorities, and ensure the continuity of government functions in the aftermath of a disaster. It was equipped with communication systems, medical supplies, and enough provisions to support a small team for an extended period. The bunker was built as a prototype for similar shelters that were planned nationwide. Its construction was intended to showcase the potential for creating secure subterranean facilities capable of withstanding the effects of a nuclear blast. The design incorporated reinforced concrete and steel to provide maximum protection against radiation and physical impact. The primary purpose of the bunker was to serve as a secure command center for the city officials during a nuclear attack. The bunker was equipped with state-of-the-art communication technology for its time. This included radio systems, telephone lines, and other communication tools that would allow city officials to stay in contact with state and federal authorities during a crisis. Recognizing the potential for mass casualties in the event of a nuclear attack, the bunker included medical facilities and supplies. As the Cold War progressed into the late 20th century, the immediate threat of nuclear conflict began to diminish. The Cuban Missile Crisis, while a turning point, also marked the beginning of a series of arms control agreements and diplomatic efforts aimed at reducing the risk of nuclear war. With the signing of treaties such as the Strategic Arms Limitation Talks and the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, the likelihood of a direct nuclear confrontation decreased. This reduction in perceived threat led to a gradual decline in civil defense initiatives across the United States, including in New Orleans. Funding for civil defense programs was reduced, public interest waned, and many of the measures put in place during the height of the Cold War were abandoned or repurposed. The once critical bunker, which had stood as a symbol of the city's preparedness, fell into disrepair as maintenance and operational priorities shifted elsewhere. In summary, the Cold War era brought significant challenges and prompted extensive civil defense efforts in New Orleans. The city's strategic importance, coupled with the ever-present threat of nuclear war, led to the establishment of a robust civil defense infrastructure designed to protect its residents and maintain order in times of crisis. Although these efforts have largely faded into history, the legacy of New Orleans' Cold War civil defense measures remains a testament to the resilience and determination of the city's people during one of the most perilous periods of the 20th century.
I know sometimes life can be tough, and you feel like you just had enough.